Alright, so I'm currently surviving 3 days in the most dangerous environment here in Australia, the Outback. I chose this area in particular because it houses some of the deadliest animals in Australia, and even better, the most venomous snake on earth, the fierce snake, more commonly known as the Inland Taipan. One drop of this snake's venom can kill 150 millers real quick. Now, in part 1 of this series, we explored rocky escarpments, searching for animals, caught my own food, trekked through a red sand desert, and slept in a remote cave. It's currently early morning day 2, and we're going to be amping it up a level, putting in the hours to try and find one of these Inland Taipans. But getting bitten in a place like this by one of these snakes is certain death, so let's not do that. Outback survival part 2, let's get into it. Day 2 at the moment of this 3-day outback survival video. We slept in this cave last night. It was actually really good. You can see the sun's coming up at the moment. Right now is the perfect time to go searching for the world's most venomous snake, these Inland Taipans, because this is when they'll come out of the ground to heat up for the day before it gets up to those really high temperatures. So I woke up about 20 minutes ago and I've just been prepping myself because you can't make any mistakes out here with this snake or it is going to cost you your life. Saying that, I'm not going to put myself in any positions where I can get bitten today. So I am really keen to go down and hopefully try to find this snake. If we can pull it off, it'll be really cool. I've never found one on foot before. So what we're going to do, the paddock's just down that way, which holds these Inland Taipans. We're going to start walking down there while the sun starts coming up, and hopefully we can find one. Part 2 of this outback survival video. I think that's it for this cave as well. Tonight we're going to go sleep in the red sand desert that we found while exploring yesterday. Well, yeah, served its purpose. Pretty cool sleeping in a cave up in these rocky escarpments. Let's go find a taipan. So this is the perfect habitat for these Inland Taipans to live in. And it's a crazy thought, like where I'm putting my feet right now would be half a meter away from the most venomous snake in the world, but they're below the surface. We're just waiting for one to come out, warm itself up for the day in the sun, and hopefully we can spot it, get some good footage of it. So that right there was a little Inland Taipan, the snake we wanted to find out here in these black soil plains. And we did it. Now it went straight back down a hole, which it no doubt came out of early this morning as the sun was coming up. But we got a couple more days here. I think we'll be able to find more of these snakes. This is the first time we've actually gone down and looked for them and we've seen a little one. But the sun's pretty high up in the sky at the moment. I reckon soon it's gonna be getting too hot for these snakes. So we're gonna walk around for a bit longer. And tonight the plan is to go to those red sand dunes that I explored in part 1 and actually sleep there tonight. Now actually on the way out to the outback, I stopped in at this remote section of bushland to look for snakes. And I camped there overnight, woke up the next morning, and take a look at what I found not far from my camp. Take a look at the size of this death adder right here. That thing is massive. That is a big female snake and the biggest death adder I have ever seen. If I put my hand down next to it, you can get a gauge at the size of this thing. But yeah, this right here, pretty magical experience to share with such an epic snake. And you know, I don't know if I'll ever see a death adder this big in my life again. So just enjoying this moment with such an awesome animal. Now this one right here is a big female snake. The males don't get this big. And even for this female to get to this size is very impressive because of the impact that cane toads have had. I know for a fact that there's a lot of cane toads in this area, and to survive up until this size, it means that she would have had to never eat one in her life, and there probably would have been a lot of opportunities to do so. Look at her. Absolutely awesome snake. Big girl. Could even be gravid at this time of year. So this is the fastest striking snake on earth and one of the most venomous snakes in the world. Especially a death adder of this size, it's a big female and it would have a massive venom yield. So you wouldn't want to get tagged by one this size. And you can see that little tail on the back there. It's actually a different color from the whole body of the snake. Now what that is they use it when they're hunting. They'll bury themselves in leaves and put that little tail right next to their face and just do this over and over until a little lizard mistakes it for a worm, or until a little mouse thinks it's its prey, strike out, envenomate it, and swallow it whole. And you know, the reason that everyone loves this species of snake here in Australia is because they're so different to all of the other snakes that we have here. Now, they're in their same family as most of the venomous ones. They're elapids, but throughout the years of evolving, they've evolved into a snake with a completely different appearance to any other snake. They look more similar to the vipers and the adders that are overseas, but they're not in that family at all, which is pretty cool. And yeah, we're gonna keep road tripping out west and see what other animals we can find along the way. See this big tail drag right here? That's parenti tracks. The biggest lizard here in Australia. And this one would be a big individual. And he's up there somewhere. You know, coming into this survival video yesterday, I had a lot of energy and was really excited to get through it. Woke up this morning with absolutely none. Being out here in the heat, probably not drinking enough water because I have to go boil it myself. Yeah, it really takes it out of you. I've been going down to the dam, collecting water, boiling it up, drinking about 2 of those pots full. But still, as soon as I go for a big walk like this up through the escarpments, I need to drink more, but that's all right. If we find a parenti, I won't care. So I was just crawling along this little section of cave and take a look at what I found just up in the corner there. Whoa, he's going. Bearded dragon. Really cool species to find out here. And he's just chilling up in this cave, hiding from the heat of the day and hiding from the big lizard that we're looking for, the parenti. Yeah, and the little fella's found a pretty good cave up here. I wouldn't even mind sleeping in here for the night. If I hadn't already planned on going to those red sand dunes, we'd probably stay in this little cave up here because take a look at it. Looks out over this massive flat plain. It's a pretty nice place to sleep as well. Have a fire up here, but it's your home, isn't it, mate? He wouldn't like it if I stayed here tonight. Pretty cool lizard though. Pretty cool to come out here and explore these rocky caves and find these animals. Not the species we were looking for, but a good start. That's what the parentis will be eating. Using a lot of energy, but we've only got 3 days out here. I don't come out to this area too often, so I'm gonna make the most of it. Even if I'm absolutely wrecked by the end of this challenge, I wanna find as many species as possible. So we're gonna let you go, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, let's go. So this guy, just climbing up this tree right here, is not a species that I think is known for climbing, but I think he's just trying to get a bit of cover. There's not too much leaf litter around this area. But that right there is the red-naped snake, a species that I've never found before. What are you doing, mate? You are such a funny little snake. Take a look at him. I'm pretty sure that they're nocturnal. So we might have just woken him up, whoa, while I was walking past him earlier. What are you doing, buddy? You are a cool little snake. Are you gonna go back up the tree? So we've just made it up to the big red sand dunes that we're going to be sleeping at tonight. Now the cool thing about this is, since it's so windy today, it's blown over all the tracks that we were seeing yesterday in the sand. So when we wake up tomorrow morning, we'll be able to see what animals and how many animals came out and were running around. Here's a fresh track right here from some sort of goanna. Take a look at that. Underground, the place to be right now. I wish I could dig a hole and lay in it. I wish I had a tail. But yeah, we're just gonna walk around and see if we can find a place to camp tonight. Just to show you how bad these flies are. I don't know if you can see them all over my back. Literally everywhere. Can't get away from them out here. And the more trees you walk past, more and more just keep joining you. All right, sun's just setting, just over there. Day 2 out in the outback. Now we did find 2 inland taipans this morning, but tomorrow we're gonna get up early again and try to have a really cool experience with one. Hopefully get a bit more time with the taipan actually on the surface, because they go straight back down into their holes. Maybe I'll try sneak up on it this time. But yeah, where would you rather be, mate? Middle of the outback, by myself, surviving, catching my own food, and living out here with all these amazing and deadly animals. Now, after it gets dark, I'm gonna go for a bit of a walk around here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find any of the animals that are living around here, but we'll give it a go, see if we can find anything. Oh yeah, I need to find a place to sleep, hey? Forgot about that. I'm not too worried, honestly. I'd have a fire tonight, but I don't think I'd be able to get to sleep. The one in the cave last night was so hot. So the plan after this outback trip is I'm actually going up to North Queensland and going back to the place where I filmed those big crocodiles a few episodes ago. My 2 mates are meeting me up there. They're flying up. I'm picking them up in my car. And yeah, we're going out there doing some fishing, survival, and living out there with those big crocodiles. So stay tuned. If you like these episodes, I'm going to be trying to post weekly videos throughout the year. But yeah, still got a bit of a mission ahead of us. Hopefully we can film the world's most venomous snake tomorrow. And yeah, very blessed that I can come out onto these lands and do this sort of stuff. So many cool animals today. All right, day 3. The sun's just coming up at the moment over these red sand dunes. Final day of the survival video here in the outback. It was really windy last night, so there was so much sand blowing in my face. It took me ages to get to sleep. But I just went for a little walk around this area right here, and it's crazy to see how many animal tracks are in the ground. Feral cat tracks, little marsupial tracks. But yeah, the sun's just coming up at the moment. We're gonna go back down to that spot where we found the Inland Taipans and try to find another one. So we'll walk down there now. All right, take a look at this right here. Look at that snake. That is an Inland Taipan, a fierce snake, the most venomous snake on earth. And what's amazing to me is actually finding this snake on foot. Now I'm out here by myself filming this 3-day survival video, so there is no chance that I'm getting anywhere near this snake. So these snakes right here live within the cracks in the ground, and they only come out early mornings and late afternoons, sometimes throughout the night, because it's so hot out here in the desert. Now, being the most venomous snake in the world, you'd think that a lot of people would have died from getting bitten by this species. But since they're actually considered a rare snake and they're so hard to find, generally they're not aggressive, they won't go and attack people, there's been no deaths recorded from this snake species. Now, over the years, and even last year, there was a couple bites that happened out in this area, but generally the only people who get bitten by these snakes are people who go looking for them. So generally those people know the risks in coming out here. But yeah, just the patterns on this snake and that jet black head, they actually change colors seasonally. In winter, they're a much darker color. At the moment, as it's coming into summer, they lighten up. And if there's one thing I've learned over the years dealing with the deadliest animals in the world, is you can't get complacent. Complacency kills, especially in a place like this. You know, it's one thing coming out here when you've got other people who can treat you with first aid, but if I was bitten by this Inland Taipan out here, there's almost no chance that I'm surviving, and it's a scary thing to think. Even if I got back to the car after applying first aid, you know, driving hours back into the closest town, you'd probably end up feeling real dizzy, pass out behind the wheel, and that would be it. Now, a lot of the time, certain species of snakes will do something called a dry bite, where they'll bite you, but they won't actually inject any venom. Taipans are not known for that. Taipans are known, most of their bites will actually inject venom. So, you know, you might be really lucky, but I wouldn't be relying on that if you're bitten by this snake out here. I think this is really special, hey? Like, just this moment walking with such an amazing animal. He's out here doing his own thing, trying to find food, living in the cracks, warming himself up for the day. I feel very blessed that I'm able to hang with him for just a short amount of time. To have this kind of experience for this long with this snake is amazing, because generally when you see them, they'll shoot right back down the cracks that they came up. But the weird thing about this guy is there's cracks all through this area, but he's choosing to go over this way. The Inland Taipan, the fierce snake, the most venomous snake in the world. And we've got one sitting right in front of us here. See you later, mate. He just shot down a hole on the edge of this big grassland right here. And yeah, we found one. We got to film it. My God. I'm gonna move away from that hole a bit because I don't want him to come back out. But I gotta sit down and think about what just happened. Now, I think as humans, we can learn a lot from these animals. Not in the sense that we should start eating rats and biting people, but knowing that in its rawest form, we are animals just like this, built to survive. And it's not all meant to be easy, and you can see that especially while surviving in a place as harsh as the outback. But connecting to the land that we're on definitely helps, and it's what we need as humans. Now I still gotta survive one more night out here, so I'll see you all next week in the next adventure.